Welcome to A2Viz AI Concept to Images. This demo shows how an architect can begin with a hand-drawn airport terminal concept and develop it into a presentation-ready architectural image without giving up the original design idea. The hand sketch is placed in view and massing and locked. That is important because the sketch now becomes the authority for the aerial camera, overall massing, terminal sequence, roof forms, apron relationship, and the composition the designer wants to preserve. The global prompt establishes a clear priority order: exact locked sketch camera and geometry first, architectural fidelity second, airport materials and realism third, and mood or cinematic enhancement only after those requirements are satisfied. The project is defined as an exterior airport terminal with contemporary architecture, an aerial bird's-eye view, and golden hour lighting. The visual direction is specific, but it is still subordinate to the locked hand sketch. Advanced controls keep the workflow disciplined. Prompt adherence, reference strength, composition, and realism are kept high, while creativity and variation remain comparatively low. This gives the system room to visualize the idea without freely redesigning it. Next, I separate the reference roles. The hand sketch is also used as an elements reference to reinforce the architectural language, while a separate airport image provides mood and lighting character. View and massing remains locked as the composition authority. With the sketch, prompt, mood, and control settings in place, I start the first premium generation. C2I now interprets a loose architectural drawing as a structured visualization brief. During processing, the main challenge is not simply producing a beautiful airport. The system has to read the hand-drawn terminal bar, central roof volume, repeated pavilion roofs, aircraft apron, circulation, and depth relationships, while keeping the original viewpoint recognizable. This is where hand sketch development becomes useful. Early concepts often contain strong spatial ideas, but very little material, lighting, glazing, landscape, or operational detail. C2I can help explore those layers while the designer continues to own the underlying concept. The preservation order matters. If a dramatic lighting effect, a more realistic terminal detail, or an attractive site treatment conflicts with the sketch should win. That keeps AI enhancement from quietly changing the architectural intent. The workflow also avoids forcing every decision into one prompt. Camera and massing, architectural elements, mood, site context, and materials can each have a separate role. That makes the result easier to control and easier to review. For architects, this creates a useful bridge between drawing and visualization. A hand sketch can remain loose and expressive, while C2I develops facade depth, glazing, roof material, aircraft scale, pavement, landscape, lighting, and environmental realism around it. The AI is therefore acting as a development partner, not as the author of a replacement design. The professional still decides what is fixed, what may evolve, which references matter, and whether the generated interpretation still represents the original concept. When the image is ready, I review it against the sketch. First the camera and massing, then the major roof and terminal relationships. And only after that the realism, atmosphere, materials, and site treatment. Here is the first developed result. The simple hand sketch has become a detailed golden hour airport visualization, while the long terminal composition, larger central volume, pavilion roofs, apron, and aircraft relationship remain clearly connected to the drawing. For the next refinement, I add a site and scene reference. The aerial airport image supplies broader urban, runway, roadway, and landscape context, but it does not replace the locked sketch as the camera and design authority. I generate again with 4 coordinated reference roles: site and scene for context, elements for architectural intent, mood for atmosphere, and the locked view and massing sketch for composition. This is structured multi-reference control rather than one image guessing. The second pass can now develop a more convincing airport environment while staying anchored to the same concept. The designer can compare the alternatives, decide which interpretation better supports the project, and continue refining without redrawing the entire presentation. And here is the refined result. One hand sketch has become a client-ready architectural concept with realistic terminal materials, aircraft, apron activity, landscape, site depth, and golden hour light, while the original design remains the starting point.